Here's what I worked out, I think. The main way educated, intelligent women are manipulated, are captured, right, is by intimating there's a abuse of women going on, like a systemic, like an abuse of women because they're women, right? That's yeah, I think that is the trigger that the CIA uses via social media to control intelligent, educated women, right? Because it works 100% of the time, 100% of the time. So, like, I don't know. I really hope we can have a deeper conversation, because I just want her to drill down on anything she believes, right? Because here's the thing: you just go paper thin, and it falls apart. Right, you find the story isn't what you thought it was. Right, just go paper thin. Like, for example, she believes that underage children are daily being escorted out of state to have abortions because it's illegal to give them abortions. And you know, I don't think that's true. The reason I don't think that's true, it doesn't say. Yeah, how can I put it? Look, I've had these conversations about Israel with people a lot of the time, right? And most of the time, people are completely ignorant and completely dependent on a anti-Semitic narrative, right? Which you drill down paper thin, and normally people just get annoyed at you when that happens. They shout at you, right? So I don't want to upset this person, right? Especially because, again, my worldview is so much closer than what it was from what it used to be, right? So, but you know, like if somebody comes and tells me some Israeli atrocity of this, or which I don't know the specific details of, I don't believe it's true. That's my default. I don't believe it's true because it never fucking is, right? It never is. It never is. And so the textbook case of this, right, which is, I think. Here's what I think happened. I think this is what happened, and then people in their minds said, "Oh, this was going to happen all the time," right? There was a case in Indiana where a 10-year-old, terrible, right, needed an abortion. So this would have been completely legal under the new abortion rules in Indiana. Like, no, obviously she's a 10-year-old, right? And it's a police investigation. Like, it's like what happened, right? You know, this sounds like child abuse. Right. So, but to make a point, right, to make a political point, she slept this poor kid over state lines to do the abortion in another state, pretending that she had no other option. But she was lying. All right. She was lying. And this story was used to manipulate. So here, the trans thing here. Let me show you this file. Where is this? So I think the two of us will look at these things very differently, right? Where is it? There we go. Doink.
One day she came home and the teacher had told her that God made you a boy. And she crawled up in my lap and she said, "How can I get God to change his mind?" Okay,
darling. Here's what's going on, right, with the world in general, right? I do see it with the woker side of the interwebs, the more bonky twatters, which are getting way more bonkier, right? I mean, that guy, remember the guy, Stephen, what's his name? I like cut off all contact with him because he was like losing it, like big time, right? I like, so he kept emailing me. I said, "Look, dude, I'm just putting it into, I'm setting this to go into the garbage now. You can keep on emailing, but I'm never going to see him. Don't worry," right? So I'm like, I thought that was definitively goodbye, right? And he will, and then he started covering my videos. I'm like, dude, he said, I want to know about your challenge. I'm like, no fucking idea what he's talking about, right? But he's getting much bonkers, right? Much more bonkers. Right. So then, I heard that he posted about me in his timeline. I was like, I don't really give a shit, right? But there's all this weird shit there. I don't want to get involved, right? But the basic problem is, the reason why we have the world cracking up is because people are having to come to terms with reality, and they don't like reality, right? They don't like reality. They don't want reality to be reality, right? They want to be free, essentially. And that's really my now, of course, obviously YouTube says that trans women are women. I can't argue with that. But like, yeah, I think that's where and this is all couched in kindness, right? Again, I think it's one of the worst things that's happened in the world. If this has happened, it's one of the worst things that could possibly have happened. That we have normalized and incentivized a form of mental illness, right? So people are taking on this form of mental illness, you know, body dysgraphia, because it's you get so much, you know, there's so much designed to make you think it's a good option, right? I have to tell you, also, listen, you want to know how wacky and weird I am? And this is something, I'm like, yeah, heading towards my 60s, right? No, not really. I just in my mid-50s. And with that perspective, I would say the idea of having sex outside of marriage, and specifically marriage, being a thing that's going to work out good for you, is not true. Yeah, it really. Now, I didn't say marriage instead of a committed relationship. I guess committed relationship. But the trouble is, you can't really tell somebody at the time is committed unless they're going to put a ring on the finger, right? I mean, at least, you know, back in the old days. I don't know. No fault divorce was not a good thing. But anyway, the point is this: the mental health crisis is simply people having to come to reality and they don't want to, right? I think maybe they have this in, like, you know, the last days of Rome as well.
And just cried. So I went out and bought her dresses. Yeah,
no, don't do that. I think that was a bad idea. I think you should really speak to a, you know, traditional doctor, you know, traditional psychiatrist, maybe one who, you know, follows science, one of those ones, not one of the flat earthy ones, right? Yeah, how about that? And don't get me wrong. Do you think that she's enjoying the positive attention of having a trans kid? I think so.
Bought her dresses.
11-year-old Flower Nichols and her mom, Jenny Lynn, are among those scrambling from their home state of Indiana to a doctor at the University of Chicago so she can keep the puberty blocker she has been on for the last 2 years.
Yeah, like, what's the effect of that? I'm sorry. This is some kind of, like, you know, Munchausen by proxy. I'm not. It's kind of. I don't know what it is, right? I don't think she thinks she's harming her child, right? I don't think she's intentionally harming a child. Maybe she. I don't know, but you know, I don't think this is good for anybody involved, right? Of course, YouTube will tell you that trans women are women. This is stunning and brave and beautiful.
This medicine is like the bridge between me saying that I'm trans and being trans.
It's
yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know why we started listening to children about their mental diagnoses, right? I'm not sure that's a good idea. Maybe, you know, we should have not unhinged professionals, right? And I say not unhinged. Ones that understand that, generally speaking, if you have a penis, you're a boy, right? And that's not a weird, rude, or you know, disastrous comment to make.
Really hard to explain to an 11-year-old kid that, whereas we used to just, you know, pop to the hospital once every 3 months, that now we have to travel out of state.
The family.
Okay. How about explaining to the kid that? The desistance rates are 92%. Well, I would say like this. And obviously the kid doesn't have a father. I mean, you can see that right there, which is the issue, right? Yeah, right. It's there's a lot of unhealthy behavior, I believe, going on there. I think he's trying to please his mother. I think there's just a lot of, I just think that, you know, to go, there's nothing to look at. This is normal. I think is cruel. Right? I think it's also uncomfortable, which is why we don't want to do it. And we would much rather say live and let live, but these are fucking kids. You know, yeah, look, I understand there are some transgender kids. I get that. When I say people like to cross-dress, I understand that. You've all got by, right? For 2015 years, right? You all got by. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, 1 second. just reply to this. Oh, I totally forgot. Doink, doink, doink. Let me just check that, respell that. Totally forgot. But sure. Excellent point. Doink. We go, here we go, here we go. Wallop. And then we go over here and we go, doink. It's gone down. There you go, baby. Just dealing with a bit of correspondence. Oh, while I'm dealing with correspondence, where's my phone? There we go. I got to send something to Keith, right? I thought about this just before I was coming on. This is an important side thing because we're going to need to talk about this as well. Wrong person. Where is it? This is Keith Isles from British Isles. This is my Star Trek guru to go, the guy I go to, right? I bounce my Star Trek ideas off him. Keith, how are you? I hope you're well. I hope you're still dashing, right? You're awfully dashing. I would like to see you do a Dan Dare, right? I think you've got that right chin. An older Dan Dare. I think you'll be great as Dan Dare, actually, because you can do the voice and you can slick the hair. I think you'll be good as a Dan Dare. Anyway, I digress. I finally worked out what my my one-line review is for this episode of Star Trek, right? I finally worked out what it is about it. This is a bog standard female orientated, when that's the audience, rom-com drama. Rom-com drama, heavier on, about less, not so dramatic, more comedy, wearing a Star Trek skin, a bad Star Trek skin, because it had bore no relation to Star Trek. I mean, really, what about those strong Vulcan emotions, right? So much stronger than humans, and then it gets human emotions. It's like, no, this is better. I mean, I don't bloody know. Anyway, I'm doing a live stream right now. There's a note to myself and to the audience, so let them know what's happening. But there you go. It's my one-line review. Doink. There you go. Done. See? Multitasking, baby. That's what you got to do. Multitasking. So anyway, I digress. Yeah. I don't think this is good news. Let's see how much more this cringe.
He needed to find care outside of Indiana after Republican Governor Eric Holcomb signed a law in April banning transgender minors from accessing puberty blockers, hormone therapies, and surgical procedures.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, I'm sorry. I agree with this position, but I don't YouTube. Obviously, this is comedy. This is parody. Like a parody.
Procedures. In June, a federal judge blocked parts of that law from taking effect July 1st.
Without getting this medication,
I might have to face reality.
I will go through the wrong puberty.
Okay, again, look, I'm sorry you're scared of puberty. Every fucker is. 1. 2, you're a fucking kid. Why am I going to listen to you? Good God. Shall I listen to Dobbin, the Wonder Horse, as well? What the fuck has it got to do? You're a fucking kid, moron. Yo, no, you can't chemically castrate yourself. Oh, really? Really? But I want to. No, you can't. I agree with the governor that you shouldn't be allowed to chemically castrate yourself. You want to foof around in dresses with long hair. You do that, right? It's going to make your mummy happy, right? That's certainly what's going down there. But this is just bad codependency, and the fact they're making if this kid is really like this is talking like a 5-year-old. If he really is like that, then there's something else going on. If he might just be spooked by the camera, I don't know. But nothing about this is nothing to see here. Keep moving. Let's just take this on face value. How far down does the drill? Like half an inch. Like any question, it kind of starts falling apart. Right? I mean, like, what's he going to say? I think I need my kidney out. Really? Yeah. I'm a doctor today. Really? If I don't have the kidney out, I will affirm myself as a doctor. It's very scary. I will affirm myself as a doctor. It's very scary. Really, darling. Oh, Dad, can I cut my cock and balls off? No! You're gonna want that. Oh, don't melt your bollocks, darling. Oh, You're really going to want them. Let's see what else. What are the pearls of wisdom?
Therefore, making permanent changes to me.
No, these are not changes. These are called evolution. Natural development. Yes, nobody likes change and moving on. I'm sorry your dad isn't there. Right? Thank God you got a governor who's trying to protect you.
I do not want.
But
oh no, I don't want it. Fuck you. Do you want to go to school? No, nobody does. Fuck off. You do it. Oh, I mean, the main point of school is to learn monotony and obedience and repetition. But that being said, we all fucking do it.
on this road trip, a silver lining. Instead of exclusion, Mom Jenny Lynn is doing what she can to inspire wonder in her child.
And trying to make that a good experience for
on
her.
the TV and being so stunning and brave and wonderful.
We came up and...
How about this? Why don't you both go on diet? That'd be good. That would show us some.
We saw a museum.
Jenny Lynn says she's just trying to turn this negative into a positive.
Again, if this kid is 11, what the fuck? Okay? This kid is very developmentally stunted if this kid's 11, right? I've had lots of kids. This is like 5-year-olds.
She's just trying to turn this negative into a positive.
Yeah. So anyway, my feminist neighbor will see this completely opposite. So I invite her on the channel. I hope she comes on, right? Although, I don't know. You know, you don't want to crush somebody's worldview, especially somebody you like. In public, right? My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe. And ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.